Hi guys, I'm Edyta Sitar from Laundry Basket Quilts. Welcome to Quilting Window Live. Today, as you notice, we're in a different space. This is my sewing space in our studio, and I thought, why not? I'm gonna bring you into this space. I have my sewing machine, I'm working on something. I'm doing a little stamped quilt with little squares. Isn't it cute? So, oh, you wonder where I got all those squares? Oh, let me tell you. We're working on all these fun pre-cut pieces, and we did circles, we did hearts for you guys, and now we have this new package coming out that is low squares. There are 2.5 by 2.5, and they're just all different colors, really fun. Look at this, I have a whole little box full of them. Isn't it cute? And we're gonna have packages in light, in darks. Tell me if you want them. Please leave a comment. Tell me if you would like some of those squares. Today, I'm just sitting and practicing, and my plan is over the summer, I'm gonna make a stamp quilt out of 2.5-inch squares. So any chance I get, I sit down, I put two pieces together. I have one dark, one light, and when I'm matching my pieces, I always pay attention to the size of the print. So if this is a medium print, I matched it up with a small print. I look at for some little clues. There is a blue, so I have a blue here. Perfect. I put them right sides together, and I'm gonna stitch. But I didn't just invite you today to this live show to watch me sewing. I invited you because we have mystery coming up. I know we just finished one mystery, and this is our regular yearly mystery. We finished the Alaska ruler mystery, but this one is the regular. Everybody is invited. You can be a beginner, advanced. Does not matter. Anybody that want to join us, come on in. We did some bundles for the mystery. I'm gonna tell you about those in just a little bit, but also you can just use your fabrics. Follow us, it's free to you. You can just join us every Wednesday for 9 weeks during the summer. We're gonna meet up and create a beautiful blocks, and I tell you what, the quilt, you will not believe it. It is so amazing and nothing that you expected. So this mystery, when I create mysteries, I always think of you guys. How can I help you grow as quilters? So I either pick up a technique that I can go through blocks and teach you really fun blocks with a new ruler, something different, or I base my mysteries on, how can we grow as a quilters if there is a different shapes. So we start up with something simple and go for more difficult. This time, the like a theme of the mystery is nothing is what you expect. So we're gonna start with one thing, and we're gonna do something else with it without giving too much away. Anybody can join us in. If you are a beginner, this is maybe a perfect time for you to play with us. So really fun. The quilt, as usual, you are not gonna believe you made that quilt, that it's so cool, so awesome. We're gonna do some strip piecing and then cutting, so not giving you too much away. Join us in. It's starting 1st of June. You want to know about the bundles? Okay, let me show you the bundles. So we prepare some bundles for you guys, but like I said, you can use your own fabrics. The number one bundle is this one, and it is the Day Trip. Day Trip has all linen texture in it, and with this bundle I'm going to show the pictures on my blog, so that way you get like a really simple look to the blocks, and now you can build on that. If you want to have more scraps, go for it, but all that I'm gonna use is 8 colors, and that way you know that you need 8 colors, and I have 8 1-yard cuts, and I chose 1-yard cuts because I want you to have a little bit extra fabric. Notice I didn't ask you to get fabrics for your binding or your backing or maybe border or anything else, so please know that the 8 yards you're going to use, it's a mystery what we're going to do for your binding, because remember, nothing is what you expect to be. You're gonna roll with it. And then backing, I don't know. There may be mystery with your backing. I don't know. I can't tell you right now. Erin is saying, no, don't say. So this is the first bundle, super nice. Notice the colors. I picked a really nice shade from brown to light green with 2 lights. And then I have my accent color. I'm gonna open this just so you see the colors one more time. So look at this. Look at those colors. So I chose just some really simple, fun. You can go to our website and see the pictures, and just you can look at the pictures and you're like, okay, I can't buy fabrics right now. I have so much fabric. I got you. I understand that. So just use the picture as your color guide. So if you see I have a brown, choose a brown. If I have a dark blue, green, going towards those beautiful sage greens, and a nice 2 beiges and some accent color. Look at how boring this bundle looks, and look at how much fun, and it's almost like a little necklace it adds to it. So think about one fabric that would be like that boom, ba-boom little thing in your quilt. So this is our first bundle. Then we have another bundle, and this is a stunning one. And with the linen texture bundle, one more time, I want to show you that. With this bundle, you are not, the light background, 2 yards is not included. So you have to get additional 2 yards of background, or just get to your stash. You have lots of lights. We have other bundles, the beach day, and those bundles are printed fabrics. They're not solid, and again, I chose the colors for you. In those, I did included the lights because I wanted your lights to match with your dark fabric. How did I do this? So for example, if I have my colors right here, I look at for the different clues, you know, low blue, low gray, everything matches. When you get your bundle, you're gonna like, oh my gosh, this is perfect. Do I have to cut this fabric because it is so beautiful? Yes, you're gonna have to cut it. And what I'm going to do is on my blog, I'm gonna show you the basic block that we're doing for that week. And then from then, in the bottom, I show you all different color options. So I have colored the quilt in all our bundles. Then I also did it in our Bluebird collection, in our Lady Tulip. I thought you guys gonna love that, you know, in case you got a Lady Tulip. And I also did it in Practical Magic because I love Practical Magic. That fabric is so beautiful and it's in right now, and I'm just so excited for it. So Practical Magic is another one. So right there, this was our second one. Our third one is Trail Hike, and notice the names on our bundles that we have put out: Beach Day, Trail Hike. I wanted to look at that fabric and envision a really fun event for you during the summer. So look at this. I'm gonna pull this bundle out of the bag and just show you. So if I would have to buy this bundle, and I'm like, okay, those are beautiful, but I want even more fabric because this quilt may be really cool when it's scrappy, you can go ahead and use the fabric as your color guide, just like with the solids. So for example, I'm gonna be making multiple quilts with for this mystery, and I thought, oh, I have all these leftovers from my secret stash. Look at this, all those cute little leftovers here or there. I can add those to this bundle, and look at how nice it will match and go with it. So anything in your stash, I really would love to see you create a quilt with all the scraps, all different things that you have. If you wanted to, use my bundles as your color guide, either the picture or purchase a bundle. And I am very thankful that you guys shop from us. We really appreciate that, and we match it up. Our girls pack and create the bundles for you. They are just really nice, and I am sorry if we're selling out of some of those. We just started the mystery, announced about it, but you know, we have other fabrics, and I'm pretty sure you have some nice things in your stash. So if something is sold out, I'm so sorry. We made it limited edition just for this mystery quilt, and I'm really doing this. The mystery is free to you. It's free on our blog. I'm doing it just to have fun with you this summer. And this time I stretched it out a little bit to 9 weeks. So we're not doing every single day for 2 weeks because I listened to your comments, and a lot of comments were that you guys want a little bit longer time so you can finish your blocks. So you have a 1 week to finish your blocks. Sometimes you're only making 4 blocks a week, so like 4 of the same design. So it's really not that much, and I think it's gonna be great if you can do that with me. And this is the last bundle that I have for you today, and this one calls lemonade stand. Look at those pinks, isn't it beautiful? And what I did is I add this beautiful green as my accent, and I'm gonna open this so you see it because it's really nice to see this. Notice it? Isn't it beautiful? All the lights, but let me scoop up the lights, and lights are half yards. And look at this, isn't it gorgeous? That is gonna be one of your accent fabrics, and all the bundles have something super special that I thought I started at that point and then I matched it up for you guys. So it should be beautiful. I'm really excited for you. So grab your bundles, get ready. There's some notions that you can dust it off in your sewing room and get ready. One of the things that I'm going to be using during our mystery is a ruler, so it's easier to cut strip, but you can use any ruler you have. Of course, when you're cutting, you want to have a brand new rotary and a nice brand new blade. Get a new rotary if your rotary is old, but brand new blade. And of course, the usual, our needles, our threads, all different little things. And I put it right here. The pins, I'm gonna be using quite a bit of that. Oh, and you know, if you're getting your fabric, make sure either starch your fabric or use best press on it. Give a little stiffness to it. We're gonna be sewing strips, and it's gonna be important that everything is nice and even. And I'm gonna talk about your 1/4 inch seam allowance in our videos. So that's what we're going to do. Every week on Wednesday, you will get a blog, and yes, I forgot to tell you, you will get a matching video. Just like we've done it previously, it always worked good for us, so we will go the same route. The one comment that I have done here from you guys, do you need all this fabric? Like I said, most of the time we don't get comments that we have too much fabric. There may be not enough, so that's why I chose 1 yard cuts of the 8 fabrics, because I want you to have plenty, and also because I have some surprises for you in the end that I don't want to tell you right now about it, but we are going to use that fabric in other places, not just the quilt top. Let me tell you that much. So please prepare yourself. Go to our blog at laundrybasketquilts.com. So you go to our website, click on a blog, and on the blog it shows you all the different details about, you know, what you need, all the rulers, everything. And our first blog that is gonna be launched on June 1st will give you the first clues. But for now, you have all the housekeeping, all the fabric you need, what tools I'm planning to use, and just kind of look back at our previous mystery and see if you wanted to join us in. This mystery has nothing to do with our quilt, Eldon quilt alone. And I'm going to do some new videos. I'm feeling so much better. My leg is healing really nice. Thank you for all your prayers, good wishes, and all the work you know, that you have done to like keep me up and keep me going, because I was low down when I got hurt, and it was nice to have you guys to email me and just keep pushing me forward to challenge me to keep going. So thank you for that. But right now I'm getting ready for new videos, and like I told you, I'm gonna be doing North Star, Lemoyne Star, Irish chain, and we're gonna do a video on Eldon, and we're gonna do a really small fun quilt along for Eldon. Eldon quilt is made with 8-point star and a log cabin, and then set into diamonds. And I basically gonna do 3 stages for that to show you the 3 steps that you need to take to make the blocks, and then you on your own making as many blocks as you want. You can make 1 and make a pillow, or you can make 16 like I did and make the whole quilt. So Eldon is still on our schedule, but we're gonna start with our mystery, then I'm going to Poland for a wedding, and I'm gonna be taking some of those beautiful baby quilts that everybody was sending to me, and our retreaters have made them, and I'm taking those baby quilts for children's in Ukraine. So I'm packing my suitcases, finishing things up. I have a few more quilts to finish. Boy, I have so much going on, but no less, today, I'm all yours to answer your questions. Erin, do we have any questions?
We do. We have quite a few questions coming in. The first one is, if we're doing the large quilt, do we need 2 bundles?
So, there are 2 options. If you want to stay with clean look, and for example, if you're doing the same colors over and over, then yes, you're gonna need 2 bundles. You're gonna have leftovers, but like I said, we're gonna be using them other places. But you could also get 1 bundle and then apply some of your fabrics. There is a lot of room to use your scraps. Really, I'm telling you, as long as you have a color guide, because every week I'm gonna tell you, grab color 1 through 5 and use those, and you're gonna repeat it. We're only basing the whole quilt on 8 colors, but you can apply your fabric in different places just as long as you're using the color. So for example, if I'm using this fabric 3 times in a quilt, I could have used 3 different fabrics but in this color. As long as I have the color in my quilt, everything is gonna look beautiful. So just think about that concept of, if I'm asking you use color 1, you using the color. How many fabrics you have? You can have many different fabrics for that color. So that's why I think this quilt is gonna be great for anybody that loves scraps, for anybody that ever cut up too many strips for their log cabin. And during my the mystery, you're gonna learn that you could use all different width of strips. You're gonna use all different leftovers that you had from previous quilts. As long as you're applying the color, I want the finished quilt to have a really beautiful look. So that's why I chose a little bit of a color guide, and also because I have a lot of girls that love to do exactly the same quilt that I'm doing. So I'm always making sure that we have the kit and you guys can do that. So that is the goal. And did I show you this? I just got those. I can't believe I didn't get them before. And I love those. There are little scissors, and notice they're a little wavy because it's so much easier when you have to clip or trim. When I have to clip something, to be able to trim some of the threads. So those are my new ones. I just put them in on this machine because I brought it. I have a pair at home and I didn't bring it, so I got a new pair for myself for here. Okay, what other questions we have? And if you don't mind, I'm gonna be sewing. I really want to show you some of those cute little squares.
Is there a chance, if they're going to be working with busy prints, do you think that it would be too busy because we don't know what the pattern looks like because it's a mystery? Should they shy away from really busy prints?
Really busy prints? So I color the quilt with our Practical Magic. And when you look at it, Practical Magic, the big print is really busy to me. It has a lot of, color to it. And you know what? It looked beautiful. I don't think I would wear it. There's going to be a lot of light contrast. Remember, you have 2 yards of light that you have to use it. So there's going to be a lot of light. And I think I would take a chance. I would go for it. That with our first block, you're gonna be like, oh, I know what she's talking about. The shading is what it's gonna matter. I think the shading. So for example, if I have, look at what I'm planning to do with it. I want you to be able to shade. This is gonna add to the quilt. The blocks are super simple. It's the fabric that is gonna create the designs. So, but the fabric right here, the shading, I don't want to tell you too many clues because I don't want to spoil a mystery, because I think that's the fun part. But again, shading of fabric and having an accent. those are the things that I want you to remember. So when you're choosing your fabric, and I actually looked at my stash, and one of the things that came to my brain, and I know I'm going to do this after we finish what we're doing, I looked at my stash and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have all these beautiful lights, tone on tone, all these beautiful backgrounds. You could reverse the design and use the lights and really shade your lights really nice too. So you're gonna have fun. Then 2 days ago, I was in a studio and I noticed this teal fabric that I absolutely love it. I picked that one and I started pulling fabric and I shaded lighter and I shaded darker. So pick your favorite color, my advice to you is, and then make sure that you have a shading up and down from your favorite color. So it goes a little darker, a little lighter. I don't think your busy fabric are going to throw your design off. I think they're gonna add a little bit to it and they're gonna make your quilt, because you love that fabric, you want to use it, so why not use it in this quilt? And you can follow us along, you can download all of these steps, and then as for first block, second block, start taking chances. Don't hesitate. You will not regret. We're gonna have fun and you're gonna learn so many fun things. I don't do the mysteries for any other reason but just to show you that you can make a very difficult quilt by just taking one step at a time. Isn't that right? All our mystery, we're starting with 4 patches, half square triangle, and then we ending up with this gorgeous design because of the layout of the blocks. All our blocks we're gonna make only 2 times or 4 times. So that's all that we're doing. And first day you're gonna find out where we're starting. Almost every Wednesday we're gonna start at that same point by doing one thing, doing something with it, and then a third step that it completely transforms what we did into something brand new and exciting. So that's what I wanted to do with you guys. Do something simple, something fun, and you can grab just any leftover, any scraps. Have a good background. Remember, have a nice light background, because that is gonna define the design for you and it's gonna make it lovely. So another question?
Yes. What do you think is the best way to go about picking an accent fabric? Does it depend on anything specific?
Oh guys, this is perfect question. Let me see, do I have it here? I usually have it right next to me, my color wheel, because on a color wheel you can see, let me see where I put it. Did we put it someplace there, Erin? That's okay. So check this out. When I pick fabric, yes, thank you, Erin. Normally I have this sitting right here because I use it quite often. Do you have a color wheel? We need to add them to our website. We're gonna add them to our website so that way you can get those. And this is one of my personal favorites. It just teaches you all different things that you can, learn about it. And especially this side right here, it gives you, show you double match. So for example, look at all these blues, a little bit of a, like a true blue, and look the accent on the opposite side. This would be how you choose those fabrics and how you accent. So let me move this over here, and look what happened is right there I have all my teals, and what accent I have? This beautiful oranges. And this is what I did for you. Look at this. I have all this beautiful teals, and then I needed a little accent, so I went for this coral orange. So, and when I pick fabrics, there's some things that it just happened. I don't know why, how. I wish I could share it with you all the way, but this basically where I usually start. I look at my color wheel when I'm confused, and then I looked, oh, okay, if I have a green, ooh, look at this green. This would be beautiful, a gorgeous little purple lavender, something to put it with your greens. So that's the easiest way. This color wheel also show you 3-way matches, nice accents. So that's what I would go. Or when I choose accent fabric, and this is a great bundle that I can share with you. In case you're hearing something squeaking, it's my chair. Can you imagine? This chair is just really fun. So I chose this fabric. This was my first one. And then from here, I chose my accent. And I know I'm not going to use a lot. It's just going to be a little smidgen, just enough. But then I knew I needed shadings of pinks going into this red. Look how beautiful this look. And this fabric is going to be a part of stuff that we're going to do here. So it's going to really nicely, show in the quilt. And I'm so excited about this combination because here, look at the big print. When I'm cutting into different shapes, I'm maybe only gonna see a smidgen of it. So I'm gonna have a really nice blending, and all that I needed is gonna happen. Now, notice also when I'm picking my fabrics, I use a rule of 5. Big print, medium print, small print, some kind of stripes, some kind of polka dots. So I look for those clues in my fabrics. I have a big print, I have a medium print. Look at this, looks like a little polka dot right here. It's a small print, polka dot right here, another nice print. If I want a stripe, to me, those branches right here gave me those lines that I was looking for. So this is how I choose my fabrics. Just follow the rule of 5, big, medium, small print, stripe, polka dot. And in my light fabric, I do the exact same thing. I don't only go and do small. Look at, I have little branches, I have the stripes. Look at all of the different designs that I choose for. If I would have only choose small little polka dots or small print, it wouldn't be fun for the whole quilt. So this gives me a little bit more variety. And also I did a little shading from it, so that way there area of a quilt that I want a little darker or a little lighter. And like I said, every single week I'm gonna post the basic block, basic direction, and we're doing 2 sizes, the 9-inch blocks and 6-inch blocks. So we always start with the 6, and on the side you have a 9-inch. Step by step is exact the same for either one of them. You just have to make bigger pieces, bigger strip, bigger whatever I call you for. So that's what you're going to do. And then from then we go through the steps, what we're sewing. I'm gonna be hearing your comments. I'm gonna be constantly adding stuff to it. We're gonna do the video, but in the bottom I'm gonna show you the colors that I chose from your stash for that block. So it's nice that you look at the whole blog, see your block, and then you're like, oh, this is my block. She used fabric 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's what we're doing. Okay, now I can go ahead and cut my fabric. But also, don't stress too much about it. Just enjoy it, have fun, maybe use your stash. So you're gonna have a little work that you need to know where to put fabrics into it. And I have to tell you, summers are perfect for projects like this, that we're gonna meet up, do something fun. And I love also small projects for the summer. And some of you probably noticed I have some beautiful quilts around me and a book and quilts behind me. Those are my little handful of scraps projects. So I would love to share those with you in just a little bit. Let's see if there's more questions.
Yes. So it definitely sounds like there's quite a few that are going to be choosing from their own stash.
I love that.
And they just want to make sure 1 yard cuts is what they should be looking for in their stash.
Where you, I would have a yard on hand. I don't want to give you too much mystery. That's the problem. So I would have a yard on hand, or if, for example, if you have, let's say, I'm gonna bring this back. Okay, let's say your accent fabric, you don't have a yard, you have fat quarters, have 4 fat quarters. They could be all different fabrics as long as you have it enough. Total. So this brown, for example, could have been, if this is a yard and I needed strips, this could have been all different sizes of strips, just so it totals that during the mystery, I can ask you to have another strip, 2 strips, 3 strips, or whatever you're gonna need for your quilt. So to answer the question, it doesn't have to be one solid yard. you could have multiple fabrics, but it's total to just about a yard.
That's great to know. Thank you so
Awesome.
much. Will going back to Eldon, will the Alaska ruler work for Eldon?
Alaska ruler will work for Eldon because we're gonna be cutting diamonds, so it's gonna work really, really nice. For Alaska, we cut strips first, make the strips to the panel, and then we cut into diamonds. So you could use the Alaska ruler there.
Awesome. And I think you have it right behind you, possibly.
Yes.
What is the fabric that the 2 extra yards that go with the day
Thank
trip
you.
bundle?
Yeah, that's this fabric right here, and those are the 2 yards. I believe is 9057 L2, but don't quote me on it. I believe that's what it is. Go to my blog because we put all the fabric numbers so that way you can look at. And I'm pretty sure you maybe have already in your stash, but something light. You want a nice contrast, nice canvas. So it is wonderful to see the quilts that you make with our fabrics. So Erin said, yes, it's 9057 L2 for the light one.
Awesome. Thank you.
And keep sewing. See, guys, I can multitask. Can you imagine this? I can visit with you and I can keep sewing. And with this, can you imagine when we're gonna do our virtual retreat? Oh my gosh, I'm going to be sewing with you for 2.5 days. It is going to be amazing. If you have not yet signed up for our virtual retreat, please email our customer service at Laundry Basket Quilts. You are going to love this. We're planning all out. You're gonna get a box from us. If you signed up for the retreat ahead, you're gonna get a box from us with all the goodies, everything that we're doing, and then you're gonna sit and sew with me from your home live for 2.5 days. Yes, we will be taking little breaks to do little sewing yoga, and then we're gonna do little breaks so we could have a little bite to eat. But hey, snacks, yes. So I'm super, super excited for that. Any other questions, Erin?
Yes. And just to touch on that, we do have a couple questions coming and asking when the virtual retreat is. So maybe just...
So right now we're just taking your applications to be to join us for the retreat. We do not have a solid date yet for it. We are expecting to do it sometimes in the fall after our retreat that we have a regular retreat in September. So I would say sometimes October, November time, closer to November, just before Thanksgiving. I thought there would be good time because you maybe want to do something, last minute project, you want to visit, you needed some time before the busy time of Thanksgiving starts and Christmas and all this other stuff. Can you imagine we're talking about a Thanksgiving or Christmas? Look at those cute little 2.5-inch squares I made it. So what I'm doing I'm making a stamp quilt, super fun and simple. I hope you do one too. I have 2.5-inch squares. I have dark and a light, and I have a bunch of them, and I'm keep cutting them and bringing them to the studio so you can do it anytime. And now once I finish sewing sets of 2, so this was sets of 2, I'm gonna go ahead, rotate like this, and sew it into sets of 4. I have push finger press my seam allowance, so you can finger press. I also always by me have my cute little tool. I hope you guys have one of those. If not, we're getting more of them on our website, so please be patient. All that I do is just finger press gently. Why didn't I get up and do press with an iron? Because I already iron, starch, and pre-press my fabric so they're nice and stiff, and I only want to finger press gently because I want to spend time with you. So right there, now I match, look at this, and it is time to sew my first little 4-patch for my stamp quilt. Are you in? Are you gonna be making stamp quilt out of 2.5-inch strips? They're perfect. You can cut them from jelly rolls. You can cut anytime you're making a quilt. That's what I'm doing. Anytime I'm making a quilt, I don't just fold my scraps and put it away. I always cut into strips or half square triangles, or if it's a bigger piece, for half square triangles that I can use my triangle paper on it. So I encourage you to do that too. I have done this for many years. We have some awesome books on friendship strips and scraps that I released many years ago of friendship triangles, and in those books I showed you how I just collect my strips, collect my scraps in already pre-cut pieces, because even for this quilt that we're gonna do a mystery right now, I could just go to my bucket of strips and pull up the strips. I would not have to cut it if I wanted to do a really nice scrappy version of it. All right, any more questions, Erin?
Yes, a couple just to tie up some questions on that virtual retreat you were just talking about. We just had a couple of questions to make sure, is it different from the other retreats that you have, this
virtual retreat? Yes, the difference is that our regular retreats are 3.5 days and they're in person. So you get a little bit different kind of interaction. The virtual retreat is first time ever we're doing, and in my brain, this is what I'm planning for you. We're going to spend 2.5 days. You're gonna know what time to tune in. You're gonna get an invitation to zoom into this. You can watch me on your iPad. You can set me right next to your sewing machine, and basically I'm going to be sewing and you're going to be sewing. I'm gonna be still we're gonna have an evening events presentation, so you're gonna get to see quilts that you normally don't get to see. And guess what? Today I have a really sweet little presentation for you. I know it looks like a little stack because it's a little stack of, I would say I have 10, 12 quilts here. Can you imagine? They're all mini quilts, and I pull out from my stash some of my antique doll quilts to share with you. So again, during the virtual retreat, we're gonna do a little eye candy to inspire you with beautiful quilts. But what is going to happen is we're gonna be sewing, and you can, just like right now, we're doing this live show on Instagram. You're gonna be able to ask me questions, and then, oh, I have a problem with this. So that way, for example, you're gonna say, hey, I didn't see how you make that 4-patch. Can you show this again? And then I can go ahead and show it again to you, how I did it. Oh, I'm missing this. So you can be able to ask me, and I can go ahead and right away show it to you. Yes, this is how I did this. And I folded, and look at, I'm gonna open the back right here. So I have beautiful center, and then I'm gonna press, and we're gonna be moving around my sewing room in my house, and we're gonna be quilting together and stitching together. I'm planning to, once you signed up, like I said, you will receive a box with all your goodies, your kit, whatever we're doing, an instruction. Either it's gonna be pre-cut for you, and this is what we do in our regular retreat. Every time we have the one in the 3.5, as long as we're together. And I think for our virtual retreat, I'm again gonna choose a project. I'm gonna practice the project to make sure that we're moving along together and you get your quilt done during the time. We maybe choose a smaller project because it's 2.5 days, or larger pieces to it, so that way it goes, you can make a bigger quilt and faster. So I'm planning on it. I'm on it. I can't wait to do this with you, and I think it would be fun.
And do you think that it would be suitable for international customers?
Oh, that would be amazing for our international customers, because many of you girls cannot come. And even still right now, some of you worry about, the health, the travel. Not everybody can come to California and stay with me for 3.5 days. So I think this retreat is going to be amazing for all my girls that love quilting with me, but can't leave their house and still wanted to spend 2.5 days. And we're gonna have times that we're gonna be sewing, but we're gonna have times that we're just gonna have a conversation and visit. We're gonna look at on the quilts. You get to ask me any questions you wanna, and tune in today on Instagram. I'm gonna ask you to leave a comment and ask me any questions you wanted to, so I can answer them. And I know you're excited about that stamp quilt. But now, since I showed you those little quilts, you're super excited about those. So I'm gonna do a little trunk show, a little show and tell for you guys. So some of these quilts are from our Little Handful of Scraps book. Remember, we talked about this book. And I have one more quilt right here. I want to show you this one with the antique quilt. So when I did my Little Handful of Scraps, I created all different little quilts because many times when I'm working on a project, I start with a smaller version of that project. I practice 1, 2 blocks, maybe 6 blocks. And if something didn't go right or I'm still need to practice, this becomes a little doll quilt for me. And you know what? In the past, many times when a child learned how to sew, the mother or grandmother would use a small project, a little doll quilt for a practice. In the beginning of the book, I have all the cute little antique quilts. And right here, I have to share this with you. This is a picture of my grandmother this is my grandma, and this is some of her children. She had 14 children, and my mom is this beautiful young girl right there standing. That's my mama. I love her so much. I can't wait to see her. Yeah, I'm so excited because in June I'm gonna go to Poland. I'm gonna get to see my mom, get to see my dad. I'm so excited. It's way too long that I didn't see them. So right there in a book, what is awesome about this book, I think we have it on special right now for $19.95.
Yep.
And it is 32 projects. So you get recipes for 32 different small quilts. I love them. They're fun. So let me show you some. This is one of the eye candies project. And notice that, look at this little 8-point star. I didn't have enough of the strippy panel, so I put a solid one. And look at, this is for this girl that was asking about the busy fabric. Look how handy this come. If you're not able to make a scrappy panel, you just add it and it makes a really fun conversation piece. I use nice fabric right here. This is the same fabric into the border, tied it all together with little half square triangles. So a lot of times when I don't know what to do with myself, I make scrappy panels or half square triangles. I have them in a bucket, so when I'm making small quilts, I can also pull up some of those accent pieces and add it to my quilt. I don't want to lose this sweetheart. Oh, you know, when our Barbie got married, we made a double wedding ring. Yes, and this is a cheetah panel. No, I did not sew all those beautiful circle. One of my girls, my little Delphina, she loved playing with Barbies, and I have made so many little doll quilts for this girl. I cannot tell you. It was so much fun. So this one was our little Barbie quilt. We celebrate with a quilt. Her little wedding. Now applique is also fun for little quilts because you can cut out the little shapes and practice on a small quilt, and the little butterfly is one of our most popular. I teach this quite often. Do you remember those half square triangles? There were a little border in the other quilt. Look at, a whole quilt is made with those. Isn't it, ladies of the lake? A really sweet little pattern, and it is in our book, so you can go ahead and make that one. Few years ago, I did a project for Aurifil, and I did this cute little hearts quilt. It is so much fun. I love it. So I have this pattern in small, in medium, and in large. This is super fun to do it. A tiny little log cabin. Isn't that sweet? Look at that. Isn't that cute? And the layout gives you a secondary design of a little star block. And yes, those half square triangles, look at how awesome they are in the whole little quilt. And you're gonna laugh at me, but I have been working on an ocean wave quilt with this size triangles in blue and white. I cannot wait to finish that one. I have so many projects happen right now. I'm enjoying it so much. You know, there are two parts to my journey in quilting. I'm very good with finishing things, but there are some things that I wanted to take my time and work on it, and it's like my therapy. And there are quilts that I do for my business, for Laundry Basket Quilts, but there are also quilts that I do it for myself. And one of those times I'm gonna pull up, so maybe at a retreat, you know, because at the virtual retreat, you get to come to my sewing room. I'm gonna show you some things that I work on that are like a million pieces, and I'm just nibbling at it, and one day I'm gonna have an awesome quilt. This one has all different half square triangles in light and blue, and I love this one too. Like I said, one block. I'm practicing my handles. I'm adding a low applique. This is all Broadway applique. What that means is that I cut out flowers out of a fabric and put it in that area. Look how sweet it is. And that gives me a little bit extra design to it. And now I got into those really cute antique quilts. Look at this. Isn't that just beautiful? Let me see. Where is this quilt on my wall? Anybody can see it? Up all the way on the top on the left. You cannot see it, but it's on the wall on the top on the left. But this is the antique one. Okay. I don't want to give up the mystery, but I'm just going to show you something on the back of that quilt. Look at this. Look at this, what happens with leftovers. Isn't that nice? All right, so get excited about our mystery quilt. Get your fabrics. If you can, do the yard, because later on you maybe want to do a little bit more than just finish the quilt up with it. Oh, you guys have to see this one. Isn't it beautiful? This is just a quilt top. Look at how stunning it is. Isn't it cute? What I love about this quilt, guess what? This is made with English paper piece. This is, look at the stitches. I have to show you. Can you see it? Can you see it? Look at the tiny little stitches right there. This was all made with English paper piecing, so little squares, not hexagon. Isn't it amazing? I love looking at this quilt. It's just such an inspiration. I absolutely love it. And just like our stamp quilt, you could be doing rectangles, not squares, and doing a stamp quilt for this summer. What about that? Isn't that exciting? So this one is stunning. Now, remember, I showed you this quilt at the beginning. It's a reproduction of this antique quilt. This one I purchased and I just love it. It just has little 9 patches in it, and then I could not help myself but made my own. Look at how cute it is. I love the smaller project. Do we have any other questions?
Yes, actually.
Awesome.
We have a gal wanting to know, do you find that making small quilts assists you with deciding whether a fabric pattern and color go with others in the quilt?
100%, absolutely. It's just like a tryout block. Can we see the star, Erin?
Not really.
Yeah.
Well, we could post a picture of it
Okay,
later. Okay,
we're gonna post the picture. I have a quilt right there on the wall from my quilt called Stars Upon Stars, and it's just a one block. And when I was doing this block, was one of the first one I did it just to see the colors, just to see if I could do it. What do I need to pay attention to it? It really teaches you so much. So practicing just anything and just like, okay, I really have to work on my 1/4 inch seam allowance. Oh no, my 8-point star, I need to pay attention. This didn't fit as good with this. Can I adjust this? What it would make it better? And look at another little fun stamp quilt. You don't have to do something big to enjoy it. Notice that there are little 4 patches and then made into a stamp, just like we're doing it. And this is the last one that I wanted to show you. This is not a doll quilt. This is a child, like a baby quilt. I love this little pink star, just one block. Look at how delightful, how simple. Isn't that fun? So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you join us for our virtual retreat. I know it's gonna be fun and I can't wait to quilt with you. Do we have any other questions about our mystery?
I think that's it. So
That's it. So
if they have any other questions though, what should they do?
Please make sure if you have any questions about mystery or anything else, just email us at laundrybasketquilts.com to our support email, because the girls are just waiting to hear from you and we can help you with any problems and anything that you need. And as usual, let's have a little test and see if the girls have been listening, okay?
Okay.
So, do you have a questions for the girls today?
Oh,
Yeah, Erin, go ahead. I put Erin on the spot. How do you guys like this?
How many yards of light fabric do you need? if you're going to be using the day trip bundle.
That sounds amazing. Okay, so how many yards of background did I ask you to get for your mystery quilt? How many yards of background? So,
okay.
Oh, ready?
Yes, from Elt Juliet.
Elt Juliet, okay, she answered. How many yards was it?
2.
2 yards, that's right. So 2 yards of 9057 L2. It's a light background, but 2 yards, you're gonna need it for the quilt for your background. And that one was nice and tight, so make sure when you're cutting, you're paying attention to it. And also with getting the 1 yards, in case you make a mistake, in case you want to add to it, you got this. So I'm super excited for you. We'll be shipping this book to you, and make sure that you email us your address at laundrybasketquilts.com at our website to our support, so that way we can get your address and I will sign a copy for you. And happy quilting, guys. Thank you so much for joining me in. I enjoy so much visiting with you, and I can't wait to do this mystery with you guys. We're gonna have fun. So happy quilting, and I hope you have a wonderful Friday.